Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. I am so excited for this video. It is in collaboration with my friend Amanda from Makeup.Just.For.Fun. Please go check her out if you haven't already. She is just such an amazing human. Her videos are so thorough, such wonderful, well done reviews and swatches and comparisons and all that good stuff. And then her Instagram is just the most aesthetically pleasing thing ever. If you just want a treasure trove of beautiful flat lays and swatches and all of the wonderful things, she is your girl. Please go check her out. She is also the sweetest human on the planet. Every interaction we had has just been so pleasant. I thoroughly enjoy her existence, and I am just so excited to be doing this video with her. Amanda had the idea to send each other a Christmassy picture and to create DIY palettes inspired by those pictures. So if you want to see what I sent her and the palette she came up with, go check her out. Again, her channel will be down below. I can't wait to see what she came up with. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm just so excited. I'll pop a picture up right here of the picture that she gave me. I think it is so perfect. Spooky Christmas vibes, grungy dream. I love the jack-o'-lantern moon with the little skeleton Grim Reaper looking guy hanging ornaments, the cute bats in the sky, the little black cat and crow on the ground, the witch snowman. She knows me well. I love this aesthetic. It's so wonderful. Grungy holiday, and I'm all about it. So yeah, I created a little DIY palette with some of my singles and a couple things from a couple palettes as well to try to fit this aesthetic as best as I could, and I'll be creating the look that you see right here with my palette. I'll be doing swatches of everything, so let's just dive into it. Oh, but before we do, let me give you my accessory details. I don't know where this choker's from. It's very old. This is just an Amazon wig. It's also very old. This is an F-brand beanie, and I felt today was appropriate to wear my spooky Christmas jammies to go with the picture she chose me. These are from Sprout, and I just love them. Look how freaking cute this print is. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in. I'm gonna show you my palette and get to swatching and kind of chat about my reasoning for all of my shades. Here she is. Look how cute. I went with a 9-pan palette just because a 9-pan is my favorite size for a palette. I went with 4 mattes and 5 shimmers, and I did the best that I could with what I had to capture these vibes, and I think I'm pretty happy with where I landed. I'm just gonna kind of swatch everything on my hand, and then at the end I'll overlay swatches that I already did on my arm that are more laid out nicely, but this will just be to show you each shadow individually and chat about why I picked it for this palette. I think I'm also gonna name this the Grungy Holiday Palette. I think that's the name I'm gonna keep for it. First up, we have the shade Frantic. I picked this shade just because it really kind of ties in with different elements, like the scarf on this guy over here, the witch snowman's hat. Some of the ornaments have this kind of red, but I didn't want like a bright red. I wanted something a little more grungy, a little more, I don't know, just a little deeper, not as like bright traditional Christmas red. I love this shadow. I think it's so wonderful. I love Lethal's formulas, so buttery and smooth. Next is Saturn's Rings from Terra Moons. I went with this one just because I loved that yellow glowing moon in here. I think it's such a pretty feature on this picture. And I love this highlighty shade just because it does have that white highlighty base, but such a brilliant gold flash going through it. I think it's such a good shade for this. Like it kind of has just that white moon style kind of look, but then that bright gold flash, I thought it captured it perfectly. Next up, we have Recluse. And again, similar to the red, it's also not like the main focus of this picture, but there are a couple pops of yellow in here with the broom and some of the ornaments. And again, I didn't want to go with a bright yellow, especially because it's not super bright in the picture. So I wanted something a little more grungy. This is also like one of my favorites ever. It's just such a good mustardy shade. Just look how pretty and creamy that is. Oh, it is such a good one. Next up, we have the Cosmos. I feel like anytime I've thought of doing anything wintry, the Cosmos has to be a part of it. This one, it's not like such a prominent color that I found in this picture per se, but it just has such pretty twinkles and reflex, and it really makes me think of like falling snow and just the magicalness of the holidays. I just felt like I kind of had to put it in this palette. Like, look how cool that is. We kind of have the blues that are featured in it. Like it kind of has like a darker blue shift, but then that really bright, frosty, icy shift through it with the little bits of like pink and lavender. I don't know, to me, it's just like snow. And I thought that it added something really cool and something a little different to this color story as well. Next up, we have Dancing Queen from the Pastel Roses. This is another shade where I kind of just gathered this one just by looking at this picture as a whole. It has kind of a silvery base, and I do get kind of silvery gray vibes just from some of the shadowing in this picture. And I was thinking like the way the snow is falling on these branches of the little skinny tree in the back with the ornaments hanging on it, and then the like moonlight twinkling down, I feel like you would see this kind of silvery, sparkly, almost holographic-iness from the different colors bouncing off of the snow. That one might be a little bit of like a stretch for pulling out from this picture, but I don't know. I just felt like it would be a good addition to this color story. It's such a cool shade. It has the silver base with the holographic twinkle, and I don't know, to me it just really seems like the colors you would kind of see if that snow on the branch with the moonlight kind of shining through it and then the ornament colors peeking through. I just thought this one had to be here. I thought it was really cool. And I love that it has that like darker silver base. I feel like that's truly what like makes it for me as well. Next up, we have Wormwood from Cleona. This one I mostly took from just like the majority of the picture, which of course is that beautiful dark sky. But I like the shade because it has kind of a reddish brown background to it where it flips to that beautiful dark blue. And I felt like it was just kind of a good combination of like the grungy reds that we see in here with that blue shining against it. It's such a good color, my goodness. I feel like that truly just kind of encompasses that grungy red with that beautiful dark blue sky. It's just so, so pretty. I love the way all these are working together. Next up, last row, we have Sentinel from Shroud Cosmetics. Again, this one's pretty obvious, but I just took inspo from that sky. I liked this grungy blue color. It's not like a super bright blue, but it's also not like a navy blue. I just felt like this Sentinel color captured it pretty perfectly. I love, love, love that color, and I feel like it complements those shimmers really, really well that I've laid down. Next up, we have Poison Ivy from Glaminatrix. This was actually like the hardest shade for me to decide on. I had everything else picked out and I had one more slot available, and I really wanted to capture kind of these just couple pops of a brighter green. Nothing too crazy, but I really wanted to encompass like the cat's sweater, those couple ornaments, the earmuffs on the jack-o'-lantern moon. And I was looking for a matte at first, but I'll be honest with you, I did not have the perfect matte green that I wanted in any of my singles or any of my palettes that have a magnetic pan. I could have ripped something out of a palette, but I wasn't trying to destroy my palettes today. So I ended up changing course, deciding to do a shimmer, and I'm actually really, really glad I ended up picking a shimmer because it flows so well with all of the mattes that I picked. It's just such a rich, delicious green. I love this one. I like that it has that very bright jewel toned aspect, but it also shifts fairly deep, and I just love how grungy it is. It's not like neon green or anything, but it's definitely still like very obviously green. And I like that I kind of have that combination of Christmas colors in here without it being like traditional Christmas at the same time. And finally, last but not least, is from my Halloween palette with Shroud. This is the shade Wicked. This one isn't available as a single specifically, but again, I didn't have this exact shade that I was looking for in a single, and I didn't want to use a black, even though I totally could have used a black with this, with the black bats and the black cat. I don't know about you, but I'm not someone that needs a black eyeshadow in a palette, so I decided to go a different route, play more with that green again. And what I love about my shade Wicked is that it is a green, but it's such an incredibly dark green that you can almost use it the way you use a black by using it to like deepen things up. It's just such a rich, dark, dark, dark green, and I thought it was perfect for this palette. It adds that grungy aspect, it adds that depth that I needed, complements the dark green shimmer nicely, and also plays really well, I feel like, with that grungy red. Again, it has those Christmas colors without it being just like traditional, bright, cartoony elves, that kind of thing. And I just love how this came out. I think it's just such a good combination of colors. I want to try to move my hand around so you can see all of those shifts. I'm so happy with this. I'm so glad Amanda picked out this picture for me too. It's just so fun, and I'm really glad that I got to do this because I might not have just like sat around my room doing this on my own. So thanks, Amanda, for the wonderful idea. I'll overlay the official swatches, the more nice looking swatches of my palette that I created today. I really hope you like it. I put a lot of love and thought into creating this little color story based on that picture, and I hope you like it too. I am, again, just so excited to see what Amanda does. I gave her such a polar opposite kind of picture to what she gave me, and I'm just so stinking excited to see what she does. She is so good at creating color stories, and I just can't wait. So go check her video out as well. But now we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna create a look with my palette. I ended up using all 9 shades and I'm really happy with how this look came out. So let me show you how I did it. Hello, we are going to create a look with my little spooky Christmas palette and I'm so super excited. I'm gonna go ahead and prime. I'm gonna use my Sigma eyeshadow base. Just gonna smear this on and then blend it out. How are you today? I am doing so good on this Sunday morning, although it's almost noon now. It's not really morning anymore. But today I want to stay in my pajamas all day and it worked out that I'm filming with my spooky Christmas palette today. So I can stay in my pajamas since they match. So I want to start with the shade Sentinel from Shroud. I'm going to use this 205 angled brush from Lethal. And I'm just going to kind of pack this in the outer corner a little bit. I'm going to use that dark green to deepen this up more, but I want to use this as kind of my blending shade for that dark green. So just kind of popping this there. I'm going to do the reds and stuff in the front part of my crease. Love this color. I'm just using a very light hand with this. I don't want it to get too much too fast. I can always keep building it up, but I'm like barely putting any pressure. I just wanted a little bit of a lighter wash of this color. I'm gonna smoke some of this on my outer corner, outer half or so of my lower lash as well. I want to have a pretty like blown out lower lash area. And then I want to take Wicked from my collab with Shroud, the Halloween palette. I'm gonna use this 220 pencil brush from Lethal. I do want kind of an exaggerated blown out outer corner as much as I can, so just kind of want to pack this out here. I'm also going to smudge some of this right up against the lower lashes as well in the outer half. Oh, that's such a moody combo. I just love how dark that is. It's such a good shade, if I do say so myself. I'm gonna take just a little bit more of Sentinel, and I'm just gonna lightly kind of tap over the edge of that, just stretching it out a little bit further, blending it out just a little bit more. I'm not too concerned with the lower lash line right now. I'm gonna go back to that later. So I think I'm gonna add a liner and everything and like really smudge it out. I'm loving that so far. Next, I wanna take Frantic from Lethal Cosmetics. And I'm gonna use this 210 brush from Lethal Cosmetics. And I'm just going to, I'm gonna wipe some of that off because that is a lot of pigment. And I'm just gonna kind of go to town, kind of popping and blending this in the front part of my crease, kind of blending into those blues and greens. I just love how dark and moody all of this is so far. So pretty. I'm gonna wipe this brush off pretty much as clean as I can get it. And I'm gonna use just the cleanliness of it to blend itself out a little bit more. Up towards my brow, nice and heavy in the inner corner, very grungy. You know the drill at this point. I'm gonna take this Blue Ashes pencil from KVD Beauty. I know I'm jumping around kind of a lot, but I want to just like really smudge this messily in my like waterline area, kind of sort of like that. And then I'm gonna take my pencil brush from before, I'm gonna wipe it off so it's not covered in green. And then I'm gonna like really smudge that liner out a bit because I wanted a very smoky lower lash situation. And add just the teensiest bit more green just in the outer corner. And then I'm also gonna add just a teensy bit more of the blue Sentinel and just go to town out here as well. And then really quick, I wanna take Recluse, my final matte. I'm gonna take that mustardy yellow shade on this 200 brush from Lethal, and I'm gonna just kind of go to town in this like lower outer area, kind of just blowing these blues out with this. Letting it all kind of fuse in with my highlight and everything like that. Also just going to kind of take the leftovers, that's all my brush that I used with the blue earlier, and just kind of make sure these are smudging together nicely before I start going in with my shimmers. Moving on to some shimmer, I'm taking my NYX glitter primer, of course. Gonna use this Lethal Cosmetics 225 brush, just a little bloop of that product. I'm going to just kind of carve out roughly where I want my cut to be. For me, I like to go right above my natural and just follow the roundness of my eyeball. So for the lid, I want to use Dancing Queen from Pastel Roses into Poison Ivy from Glaminatrix. I think that'll be a good combo for the lid. I'm just gonna take Dancing Queen on that same sticky brush, and I'm just gonna go right where I placed that cut. The shade is really cool. I like that it's like silver based, but then it has little holographic sparkles through it whenever the light hits it. It's really pretty. It's my only holographic shadow so far. They've become more trendy lately where you get like those little holographic reflex, but this is my only one. And I think it's really cool. And I think it kind of fits this vibe nicely because it's still kind of moody, but it adds that little ethereal twinkle of the holidays. And I'm just kind of packing this all over the lid. I'm just gonna leave kind of this bottom section blank so that I can put the green down. Flipping that brush over to the clean side, I'm taking Poison Ivy, and that is going to get stamped all along this bottom corner, starting up here towards where the mats are really building up, and then tapering down towards the front of my lashes. I think that's really pretty. This is literally like grungy holiday, and I love, 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 love it. It's fun making these little color stories and like seeing them in the pans and like maybe even swatching it, but playing with it on the eyes, that's the real tell if I'm happy with it or not. And so far, I am pretty darn happy with this. Next, I want to take Wormwood from Cleona and use this 215 like shading brush from Lethal, and I just want to smudge this on that lower lash line. Bring forth a little bit more of that blue vibe down here. I love that blue shimmer on the lower lash line. I think that's so pretty. To highlight my inner corner, I want to take Saturn's Rings from Terra Moons. I actually use that as my face highlight as well. I'm gonna use this little 230 brush from Lethal. I love the golden glow of this one. I know I'm gonna mention it when I'm showing the shadows in the intro, but this reminded me of the moon in the picture. How it has that gold glow to it. It's so pretty. And now I feel like I should be done here, but I haven't used this shade yet. And if I use that shade, that'll be all of the shades. So I feel like I should use it. That's the Cosmos from Terra Moons. And I'm thinking maybe I could almost use it as like a little graphic liner moment for just something a little extra sparkly, maybe like to represent the snow falling. I think that could be really cool. I think I'm gonna use this little 240 brush from Lethal. I've been using only Lethal brushes in this video. And now normally I don't do this. I tend to just use glitter primer, but because I wanna be really precise, I'm just gonna wet this brush with my setting spray. This is my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'm gonna grab just a little bit of this. I can always grab more, so I'm only getting little bits at a time. And I'm just going to pop this, kind of shaping my cut crease. Ooh, I already like that. I'm probably gonna get a little fallout on my lid, but I can just dust it off in a second. Ooh, that's adding a really nice little twinkle in there. I love that. It would have been a shame to just only not use one shade. I feel like I even want this to kind of carry outwards and like flick out here a little bit. Just a little bit of a flicky graphic liner situation. I'm gonna get up close and personal with my mirror now. Just perfect this, make sure all my lines are really smooth. Clean away any fallout that I got from that shade. I'm gonna throw my lashes and eye pencil and something on my lips, and I'll be back when I'm complete. All right, this is my final look complete. I really like how this came out. I feel like it looks festive and holiday-esque, but more on the grungy side. And I just really like how it came out. I'm really glad that I added that addition of the pop of shimmer in the crease, kind of doing a graphic-y, linery thing. I just think it looks magical and wonderful. I feel like I matched the Christmas lights, but with the grungy twist. These lashes are from the Lash Graveyard. I don't know what they are. They were sitting on my bathroom counter, and I decided to use them since they're not totally dead yet. I've risen them from the grave. And on my lips, I went with a red. I felt like that was appropriate. This is the Marianne Satin Liquid Lipstick from Unearthly Cosmetics. So yeah, this is my final look. I hope you like it. Let's zoom out and finish up this video. Thank you so much for watching my video, creating my little DIY palette on this cute, grungy, spooky Christmas vibe. I just love how my little color story came out. I'm so excited about this little palette. I'm probably just gonna keep it on my desk for the rest of the month and just dabble into it here and there when I feel like it. I thought this was a really fun idea. Thank you again so much, Amanda, for wanting to collab with me and coming up with this cool, fun idea. I cannot, again, wait to see your palette. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I am so stoked. Again, please go check out out Amanda. Her channel will be down below. She is a wonderful gem on the internet, and I am just so excited to be her friend. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave me a Christmassy emoji, since we are in the Christmas season? And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting every single day in December. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. I feel like my background and what I'm wearing right now are like my two moods when it comes to Christmas. I either want like dark, moody, spooky Christmas vibes or like bright Christmas threw up in your face vibes.